It's time now for the PCSS Connection Podcast, and it's probably one of our favorites of the year because with Director Corby King, we get to look back throughout the entire year, and we get to talk about all the good stuff that's happened.
Yeah, we do, and I love, last year was the first time I think we did this, and this is, I would say, my favorite one that we do because we have so much happening throughout the year and so many good things. Really forget how much we have going on, and our faculty, our staff, our students, all the great things that happen through the course of the year. We're all so busy, or at least I'll say for me, I don't take time to stop and reflect.
Yeah.
And, for the folks who are watching, you keep a good list of this, and I haven't reviewed this yet. So there's probably going to be a few surprises in here and a few things because I sat down here and Buddy's got some notes for me, but this is a long list.
It is. And I just thought of something else right there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
This is great, and it's a good time to reflect. It's a good time to share all the things that are happening. I mean, we have a school system that our families, our community, our students can be proud of.
Absolutely.
We work well together from the school board all the way to the classroom. We're all about supporting our students. Making sure that they have opportunities to succeed, opportunities to move beyond school, beyond K-12, and just succeed in life. And that's what we want to do. And wow, what a list of accomplishments we've had. This has been a great year.
Well, you talk about the school board. Let's just lead off with that because it doesn't happen very often that the school board was named the TSBA School Board of the Year. And just last night at our recent board meeting, also again earned the Board of Distinction Award.
That's right. So it's the first time they've been the School Board of the Year.
Wow.
Tennessee School Board of the Year. That's a huge accomplishment and a huge honor. And I hope our community realizes, our board members are very active within our schools. They're very supportive. They want to make sure, that they have kids and grandkids who have come through the school system.
Yes.
And they want to make sure that we continue to, provide opportunities for all of our students to succeed. They work really well with county commissioners, other elected officials. They are in family meetings, they're at ball games, they're in church, they do all the things, and that's part of what got them the recognition of School Board of the Year.
Yeah.
Board of the Distinction is something they've been for several years. They have to reapply. It's a 2-year cycle. And this is something that they have lots of training hours, lots of sessions they have to attend over the course of the year. They have 3-4 meetings with other school boards, either regional or statewide. We'll attend one in July. It's in Gatlinburg. They'll attend one in Nashville in November. And then there are regional ones that will be held in one of the Upper Cumberland districts twice a year as well. So our board members are very active in those. They do their training modules, their training sessions, their varying levels of board membership. And all of our board members seek to continue to advance. We have 2 level 5 board members, which is the highest that you can get, and that's Dr. Fry and Ms. Cravens. Lynn and David are both level 4, I think, and Jill and Carrie may be 3 or 4. It's hard to keep up with their training stuff.
Yeah.
But our board members really stay on top of things.
Yeah, and they get along well, and not that that's has to be a criteria, but when you look at making decisions, you can be respectful and disagree at the same time.
That's right, and that's something they do very well. They don't agree on everything.
Yeah.
But when they don't agree, they are respectful. That they can disagree without being disagreeable.
Yes, yes.
And that's important. They respect each other's opinions. The votes are not always a 6-0. Sometimes it might be a 5-1 or a 4-2 vote, but nobody gets their feelings hurt over that, or they don't take it personal. It's just, here's my opinion, here's what I think we should do. And they're very open with each other. They make the vote, they move on, and they function very well.
Well, we know there's so many activities and so many things that go along in the school system, but it's all about academics.
That's right.
And first and foremost, it's about academics. And I think one of the things that we were able to celebrate this year was academic achievement and growth throughout the 24-25 school year. According to the most recent data released by the Tennessee Department of Education, Putnam County Schools earned the highest possible growth score of a level 5.
That is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
And for us as educators, academics has to be priority. And we know that students come to school for a myriad of reasons.
Sure.
Yes, sports, athletics are important. Yes, band, art, music, those things are important. Yes, the CTE classes, all of those things are important, supporting the whole child. But at the end of the day, our primary job, our primary goal is to provide an education,
Right.
Reading, writing, arithmetic. That's our primary goal. And 4 years, to maintain this level 5 TVAS goal is not an easy accomplishment. The metrics are complicated. The formula is complicated. It's like a booklet about that thick of all the rules that go into the testing and all the things that happen. We're very fortunate to have our data and testing coordinator, Mr. Jason Stickler, who can keep up and understand all of that.
He is a data nerd.
He is a data nerd. But, the big thing for us, the important thing is that when you hit that level 5, which is the highest that you can be, it says that our teachers are teaching the right stuff that our students are expected to learn, and our students are learning it, and they're achieving, they're making that success. So that's a huge accomplishment. For years, we've been level 5 in the past. We had several years we would be a level 5 one year, and then we'd be a 1 the next, and a 5, and then a 1. So you had the highs and lows.
Yeah.
That would happen. But for the last 2-3 years, we've maintained that level 5 status. So that's been exciting. You kind of keep waiting on that shoe every year when the data starts coming in. And we're at that point right now. The data's starting to come in.
Yeah.
And we're all a little on pins and needles where we're going to be. And if we have a little bit of a drop, that's going to be disappointing.
Yeah.
That always stings. But we're hopeful that it's not. What we've seen so far, the early data has been promising. That again, we're on the right path. And that's all that says, is that we're on the right path, that we're providing what the state expects our students to know. And our students are learning it. And so huge accomplishment, and it's exciting.
And the schools are thriving in a lot of different areas, and it's really showed up when you look at 8 schools improved their letter grades and 5 got an A. And when you think about that, you know that things are trending in the right direction.
That's right. Our schools are very competitive with each other.
Oh, they are.
The letter grades are a new thing in Tennessee. This is the second. I think we've had 2 years of letter grades. We'll have 3. They all want to be an A.
Yes.
I mean, most teachers, let's just say it. Most teachers were those students, the students in class the teachers had that liked school.
Yeah.
Wanted to be A, B students. They were kind of teachers' pets, and they want to be that way. They want to be an A.
Yes.
So you've got a bunch of teachers who were A students,
Yeah.
and they want to maintain that A even for their school. So it's kind of exciting. Again, a lot of factors and a lot of metrics, and the hard thing here is a lot of those things are outside of the control of the schools and the teachers.
It is.
So there's a lot to overcome. There's a lot of things. We really have to have parents to help.
Yeah.
Parents have to partner with us to do that, so that if there's extra reading that needs to happen at night, extra math practice at night, whether it's in a form of homework or just looking at where your child is struggling, making sure they get a good night's sleep, making sure there's so many factors that go into the student's success beyond control of the school. But then, when it all comes together and we've got parents working together, we've got a good environment, the school's thriving, the students are excited to be there, they're learning, and the teachers are excited to be there, then we see the fruits of that. And that's those A grades and those B grades that are happening for the schools. We had a huge number and a record number of schools that became reward schools last year, which is the high status that a school can
That was the next
Oh, wow.
thing.
Okay.
7 reward schools.
7.
And look, Allgood Middle, Berks, Capshaw, Cookville High, Northeast, Parkview, Prescott South. And again, you talk about competition.
Yeah.
And when we're as the prize patrol, we go and we present them the cake and all that. You see some of these other schools, they want to be that. They want to get there.
And we had 2 or 3 schools that only missed the reward school status or that A status by like 2/10 of a point.
That's tough.
Which just
that's like losing a
stings.
gold medal by a 1/10 of a point.
It is.
Or a 1/10 of a second.
Again, very proud of the work, and even to miss it just by a little, we know they're working hard. We know they're doing the right things. But the thing that is, I'm in the schools that I appreciate more than any of this and all of it. What's evident is our teachers love the students.
They do.
And our staff, our teachers and our staff, they truly love the kids and they care for them and they care about their well-being. And that feeds into this too.
Yeah.
It's not just the academic and the academic push, which is a lot.
Right.
And that puts a lot of stress on teachers.
It does.
Because to achieve these marks is not easy.
Yep.
It is work. It is hard work. especially when you take students who sometimes struggle and to have them, to push them to achieve certain academic benchmarks. That is hard work, and it's stressful.
Yeah.
But during that time, and within the midst of the stress and the push and the struggle, our teachers love the kids, and you can feel that when you're in the buildings, and that's fun.
Prescott South named a Tennessee STEAM school again for the second time.
That's right. Huge, a big accomplishment for them, and it's just saying that they put a focus, and there's a lot of steps they have to jump through, but putting a focus on the science, technology, engineering, and math. They use the same curriculum. All of our middle schools use the same curriculum. All of our elementary schools use the same curriculum, the same resources. They took some extra steps to complete the process, the paperwork, and putting a focus in and getting the students some common projects and things to receive that STEAM school status. But again, they do a great job there. It's another avenue and opportunity, the things that they provide for their students. But very similar that happens in the other middle schools. They just took some extra steps to achieve that recognition, and we're proud of them for that.
Individually, a couple of big awards. You had Sycamore Elementary Pre-K teacher Jennifer Peak, who won the 2024 Tennessee Early Educator Award. That was huge.
Miss Peak is amazing. I've never had any negative feedback ever about Miss Peak from parents or anybody. She's just one of those people, and we've got a lot of those in our system, that just makes you feel good to be there.
Yeah.
You walk in her classroom, and it's warm, it's inviting, it's fun. And she has some, often has some challenging students in her classroom, the nature of her job. But you wouldn't know it. I mean, she's just so good at what she does. So a huge recognition for her. Sycamore, again, kind of a hidden gem over there.
It is.
People talk about the great schools we have. It don't always get the recognition of some of the larger schools because it's kind of small and it's kind of hidden in the neighborhood over there around Tech. But a wonderful school, and Miss Peak is a wonderful example of the teachers there.
Carolina Jerome was named one of the top 100 educators in the nation for the software that we've adopted and been using. For
ELL and the students and the student success that she has received, again, truly remarkable results, and the work that she does with kids.
Yeah.
And teachers students don't just respond to any teacher that way.
Right.
There has to be a mutual respect and a mutual work and a mutual care for each other to achieve the type results that Ms. Jerome has achieved, her students achieved from working in her class. So, again, huge accomplishment there. Very proud of her and the work that her students have done at Avery Trace over the last year. So it's been great.
Our Supervisor of the Year, Miss Diana Wood, she has moved on.
That's right.
As a region finalist, and our Principal of the Year, Dr. Melissa Paulk, has also moved on. So we have a couple of potential principals and supervisors of the year.
We do, and that's exciting. So from the state, we have our. Every year at the districts in Tennessee, we all choose a teacher of the year, a supervisor of the year, a principal of the year. We send those on to a regional competition for the districts in the upper Cumberland area. And we've had in the past couple of years, I told Dr. Wood and Dr. Paul both, no pressure here.
Yeah.
But a couple of years ago, we had Principal of the Year, Ms. Tina Francis for Tennessee, State Principal of the Year. Last year, Tara Brooks represented us extremely well, was the Middle Tennessee Grand Division, so one of the top 3 finalists for the Principal of the Year.
Yeah.
So no pressure on Dr. Paul and Dr. Wood as they move forward, but we've got a history of success to hold up here.
Yeah.
And but they're going to represent us well, whether they win or not, to move from the regional to the next level of competition, which would be the Grand Division. And if they win that, we get to go to Nashville in December and have dinner and find out if they're the state or not. But either way, they're both shining examples of the type people we have working in Putnam County school system, and the type people who, again, are supporting our students, supporting our teachers, our faculty. Both Dr. Paulk and Dr. Wood do tremendous, just amazing jobs with supporting our people.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're driven, they're focused, but they're also, at the end of the day, they care.
Yeah.
And that's so important. So we're excited to watch them the next step.
Yeah.
Hope they make it. Hope we make it to Nashville in December, and we'll see how it goes.
It's always great when we see the businesses partner with the schools. We had a couple of adoption ceremonies this year, Vital and White Plains Academy. Yes. And it was great to see the adopters come, and just to see the people in the community pouring into the schools.
That's right.
And, not to be show favoritism or anything, but how does Vital get Ralph's Donuts as as an adopter? Because to me, that's like the ultimate adopter. That's like, man, that's great.
I don't have an answer for that. We have to talk to Mr. Purtle, the principal at Vital.
Absolutely.
He's kind of sneaky. You got to watch Purtle. I'm sure there's probably a lot of donuts purchased at Ralph's and went by, and a lot of talk and a lot of time spent there. I don't know. But yeah, Ralph, that's a big one.
It is.
All of our businesses, again, we can't do what we do in the school system without the support of our community partners.
Yeah.
And that it's academics. When you look at the Adopt a School, the adopter programs, they all work through the Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. We have tremendous support with Amy New and Carlin Real, and I'm going to leave people out. I'm going to stop naming people. But everybody over at the Chamber.
Yeah.
We have huge support at the Chamber for our school system and the things that we do, and lining up adopters and trying to help schools find adopters who meet their needs. And the adopters provide, sometimes it's campus cleanup stuff.
Yeah.
It could be cleaning up a flower bed, putting some mulch out. It could be painting a building. We have one of the Jerry Whitson adopters, one of the churches in town, that came in and had a couple of work and just painted the whole school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are things our maintenance guys don't have time to do that.
Right.
We can provide the paint, but we don't have the labor resources to do it. It would cost tens of thousands of dollars to do some of this stuff, but our doctors step in and they provide that support. They provide the help. It's a breakfast during Teacher Appreciation Week, or a lunch during a Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's buying a T-shirt or a shirt for the faculty and staff, just to show a little pride in the school. Because there is something, when they put that shirt on, it's got your school name, or even us at the district level, we have lots of shirts with the Putnam County School System logo.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a source of pride. You put that on, you wear it around. Our doctors step in. They help provide those things that we can't provide through our funds, whether it be fundraising or what we're allocated from the state and local bodies. We just can't use funds to do that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. So our doctors step in and do that. Sometimes they come in, during the Read Across America Week. They'll come in, they'll read books to the kids, the Dr. Seuss books. There's so many avenues where the doctors plug in and just help us fill needs that we have. And it's a great program, and we're so thankful for our business partners. And I'm sure out at Vital, they're probably getting some donuts from Ralph occasionally at time, and the other schools are like, why can't we? And, they should have got in there first. I don't know what to tell them. But it's a great program and a good time.
We're seeing the renovation of the old Parkview School become a new early learning academy.
The Putnam County School System Early Learning Academy. I still like that. That committee, that's a long name.
Yes, it is.
But they like the ELA, the Early Learning Academy, because they focus so much on it's the literacy skills, sound recognition. We do the Sounds First curriculum, phonics type curriculum. But it's preparing students to move into kindergarten.
Yeah.
Being able to utilize the old Parkview School is huge.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful property. The old school's got a warm feel to it, but it was in much need of a lot of repair.
Yeah.
And we had kind of outgrown the space. So when we built the new Parkview and kind of had moved it out of town a little bit, the board was at a crossroads. What do we do with the school?
Yep.
And we're always needing space. So the discussion started, and we kind of moved in that direction around converting it. We had architects, engineers, lots of folks come in, look at that property. Mm-hmm. And ultimately the assessments were, hey, this is still a good building. It just needs updating, a lot of updating. So new electric, new plumbing, new paint, new tiles in new doors in the classrooms. It's going to be completely renovated. New bathrooms.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Much cheaper to do that than to build a new place.
Right.
And when the project is complete, we'll be able to move 2 classrooms at least from all of our Cookeville city schools. Mm-hmm. Baxter and Monterey will keep the pre-K programs on those ends of the county. But in the Cookeville City, all good, the pre-K programs that are there, those will be in the one centralized location. So pre-K is a special time, specialty teachers that you have to teach the early learning stuff and to do that. So for them to plan and collaborate together, work together is exciting. We're ready to get it off the ground, get it moving, and we're ready to have the space in the other schools.
When will that be open?
It will hopeful in December, January.
Okay.
The construction is scheduled to be completed in December, so the school would open in January. What we have in mind right now, the administrative staff and 10 classrooms.
Yeah.
We have 29 total classrooms in our pre-K across the district that we're planning to move to Parkview ultimately. But we're planning to move 10 of those in January, and then the following fall move the rest of the pre-K classrooms.
Great.
So that'll give us some growth room at all of our elementary schools to free up some of the space. We just don't have a lot of that right now.
Yeah.
As well as getting an opportunity for those students to be together, learn together, and the teachers to work and collaborate together. So it's exciting.
It is. And this has just kind of been district stuff that we've been talking about. We're still got student successes, arts, entertainment, sports, some other issues.
Yeah.
But as we wrap up the district, I can't help but think that one of the successes this year was the implementation of Parent Square.
Yes, you led that a lot, but
well, listen, I got tired of hearing you talk about it, that you wanted an app, you wanted a one-stop shop. Where is it? How are we doing this? So
it is. So for parents, you had to have so many different things. We were so all over the place.
Yeah.
And Parent Square has kind of brought that in to one location. So now, with your Parent Square app, you can get on your school nutrition account. You can get the messages from teachers. You can message teachers.
Yes.
You can send stuff back. We send our message from the district.
It's what we've been
schools.
wanting. I mean, it really is.
It is.
And I know parents, they're like, well, I'm getting too much stuff, and I get tired of seeing my name on, messages that come through. But listen, it's better to be too much informed than not be informed at all.
So that's something we hear from parents all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you find that happy medium.
I know.
Because if we miss something or leave it out, well, I didn't know about that. I didn't get that message.
Yeah.
How did
Right.
you know? Well, but yet, did you read your Parent Square? Because it was in there.
Yeah.
And we try to keep those shorter. I know my weekly wrap-ups get a little long on Fridays, just trying to get the stuff out.
Well, it's good stuff to put in there.
It is good stuff, and it gives us a good chance to recap, too. But the ones from the school, the ones from the teachers, we try to keep those short so parents can read them quickly and then stay informed and get the message. But we encourage all parents to, again, make sure that your phone, your email, all that stuff is up to date in Parent Square so you can get that. We're using it for registration. We're using it, again, for school nutrition.
Yeah.
Our bus software, I think, feeds into Parent Square.
And they have embraced it so much. Transportation is doing a great job with it.
All of it feeds in, so it's a great tool.
It is. All right, well, let's talk about student successes because that's what it's all about. I mean, we see all these students, and they're excelling in so many different things. And, I think we could have a series of podcasts just on student successes. So just some of the things.
You do a great job having the students on through the week. So for people who don't always
they're
watch
great.
this, you got to watch each week because the students come out with some really good stuff.
Listen, that's my favorite thing. And when we were talking to like the top 3 academic ones, it's like I'm starting to feel a little inferior here. I'm like not as smart as I used to be. There's some smart kids. And let's talk about smart kid. Bonza Alberson, student member of the Tennessee Board of Education. She just wrapped up her tenure there, wrote a great article about
did you see the article? I was going to ask.
Yes. Impressive. So
Bonza
impressive.
she's an energetic, outgoing young lady, very impressive young lady. We've never had a state school board member.
Yeah.
It's something we don't have a student member on our school board currently.
Right.
It's something the board's kind of tossing that idea around. There's some new legislation that's coming through the state. We've got to have a policy now, so it's something we may add in the future.
Sure.
A student representative. But one of the things that Bonza talked about that is so insightful for an 18-year-old, I don't know if I would have been that insightful at 18, but how students need to be more involved in the policies and things that are happening that develop their school day. There's such an impact in everything that happens from the state school board, our local school board, that impacts the daily life of our students. And she wrote a great article about that. It was very eye-opening for her, I think, this year.
Yeah.
The ins and outs, all of the things that go on. People don't think about the business side of schools, the personnel management, but really starting with the policies, developing those, because we have to teach all the people.
Yeah.
And that's something that we talk about a lot. Mm-hmm. It's different race, religion, all kinds of different ethnicities, different backgrounds. In the public school system, we teach all the people.
Yeah.
It's all the people all the time.
All the time.
And Dr. Atkinson used to talk about that a lot. If you're working in a public school system, you're the public school system. You're there for all the people.
All the public.
It takes a lot of policy and very wide ranging to be able to do that. And I think that was a good experience for Bonza.
And she makes a great point, because in school, you have student government.
That's right.
And that's where it all starts with having a voice in your school, because when you get out and you don't like the way legislation is going, or there's something, a bill that you want passed or don't want passed, that's where, again, you've learned this in school by becoming active.
That's right.
And it's just, it's going to follow you. You're never going to get away from that.
That's right. It's just a lifelong skill.
Yeah.
And it's, again, being involved, being active in the community, pouring back into the community, serving, being a representative. And Bonza did a tremendous job. She made us proud.
There's so many smart individuals, and there's some individuals in our school system that are extremely smart when it comes to testing. So much so we had 6 perfect ACT scores at Cookeville High School, and we had 1 perfect ACT score at Upperman. And Trace Anderson, Jonathan Hill, Peter Goodman, Braden Gallagher, Samuel Canfield, and Catherine Smith at Cookeville, and Nicholas McLeod at Upperman. Perfect ACT scores.
Those things we never had those when we were in school.
Are you kidding?
I don't think we prepared and put the time in with these students.
I crammed the night before.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I know the schools didn't put the time and focus on ACT when we were in school that we do now.
Yeah.
We put a lot of resources in and helping students prepare for the ACT. At the end of the day, and I'll speak as a parent here, I have a student who's about to enter his 3rd year in school, and one that's going to be a freshman this coming fall. ACT is money.
Yeah.
ACT's dollars.
Oh, it is.
So when you hit certain benchmarks, there's a few hundred to a few thousand more dollars that come with that.
Yeah.
So there's a reason we put a lot of time in that in the school system. They talk about the 21, the benchmark. That's college readiness benchmark. That's where we want students to be.
Yeah.
It's also life readiness too.
Right.
It's not just college. It's also life readiness. But going to college, saying they're prepared and ready to take college level work is really important. We have so many students that score in that 30 above.
Yeah.
All of our schools have the 30-plus club,
Yes.
which is anywhere in that 30 to 36 range. And we have students that are 30, 31, 32, 30,
all the way up.
All the way up. It is impressive.
It is impressive.
But to have a 36.
Yeah. Perfect.
And one of those students took the ACT the first time, got a 36.
Yeah.
Wanted to prove it wasn't a fluke, so he went and took it again, got another 36.
Show off.
Yeah. just to show how I am that smart.
Just to show you I can do it again.
Yeah, it is amazing. It is impressive. We have students who are, again, excelling.
Yeah.
And what I appreciated, too, in talking to those students, they talked about their teachers.
Yes.
And they talked
They
about
really do.
the teachers that prepared them.
Yeah.
And the classwork that they had that prepared them to get that score.
Yeah.
There's some natural ability there.
Oh, absolutely.
They were humble enough, though, that they did. I mean, yes, there's natural ability. There's a natural, yes, they're that smart. But also, they applied themselves. They used it.
Right.
And they took what they were learning in class, and they gave credit back to their teachers who prepared them. As an educator, I appreciated that.
Yeah.
That was nice to hear, too.
That is awesome. And it starts in the middle school as well. The old quiz bowl. I love the quiz bowl. Avery Trace won the state quiz bowl.
That's right.
Their team won the state quiz bowl this year, and you love just seeing these kids showing their knowledge of different things. And I love seeing when they have the quiz bowl, because it's not just Avery Trace. I mean, it's Prescott.
That competition is there, and the academics too.
It is.
I remember being in school. I used to love those buzzers.
Yes,
The little quiz bowl.
absolutely.
That was fun.
Yeah. Upperman's Landon Ernst, of course, he was the Tennessee Beta Club president, and he's making a campaign to become the National Beta Club president when he goes to the Nationals this summer.
He is. Landon is a fun kid. He's great. I've had the chance to be around Landon some there at school. He and my daughter are friends. She goes to Upperman as well, and was the Beta president at Upperman last year at Upperman. So she was all the students, as they were gearing up for that campaign that Landon was going to run for the state president. He was going
Yes.
to do this, and they all go to Nashville. They're at the Opryland Hotel for
Yeah.
the Beta Convention. Couple of nights there, and they're going around just like running a campaign for any local election or state election. They're campaigning for Landon, and they had their T-shirts to go Landon. And then Landon gets up in front of all. It makes a great speech, which is probably that's what ultimately won the state presidency for him. Is he makes a great speech in front of thousands of students across Tennessee. He's just a fun, outgoing, super respectful kid. Great personality. And love him. And they're all excited. They're gearing up for this trip to Orlando. Gearing up the campaign, getting ready to go again here in a couple of weeks.
Here we go. I would not be surprised to see him become the national
I would not be surprised
president.
if he's not. I mean, he's just, if you spend any time at all around him, he's just, again, a great kid, great personality, and just a lot of fun to be around.
Those qualities you described, Landon, can also be said about a young man on the Hill in Monterey, Chris Clark, who at Burks Elementary was honored as the 10 under 10 ambassador, and for his achievement in literacy. And we went up there, had a nice little celebration, and it was great. And he got up there and he read like a little speech. And I mean, it was great, and to see the kids being recognized for their reading achievements.
It is.
I mean, that's where it starts.
It starts
second
early.
grade.
Second, third grade. Being recognized. It's the Governor's Early Literacy Foundation that recognized Chris as one of those students. A huge honor. It's impressive. The reading skills.
$1,500 scholarship for whenever he goes.
Already, second grade, third grade, he's already got a $1,500 scholarship.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But recognized from the Early Learning Foundation, and it's a huge honor for him. Kudos to Chris. Kudos to his parents. You know they're reading at night, and I'll say this too for parents who might be watching and listening to us. We talk about these student successes, and I don't want to underscore the importance of, again, being at home and reading. And as a parent, we were fortunate. We had two students who performed well academically, but I'll give a lot of that credit back. It goes back to my wife. From the time the kids were born, every night we read to them. And we would read, we would rock, we would read, and we'd get, we got the Dolly Parton library, we got the books that, came in. That was a big day every month when we got a new book. And then we'd have, as a teacher, she would be at the book fairs and would get books, or the kids, as they started school, would get to the books. But up until they were too old to do this, and it was sometime in elementary school. You never know when that last night is going to be, when they decided they're too old for it. But they would read together. I would read with them when they were younger, and then Mama would go take them to bed. They would read a little more, but they would just read books, and it would be Mom would read a chapter, they would read a chapter. That makes a huge difference in language and word acquisition. So for parents who are watching, it is very important that you take that time and read. The Dolly Parton Foundation, the library in town, Plenty on Spring bookstore, which does so much for our students, a wonderful selection of children's books. Support those folks, but just read with your child, read to them, let them read. Some of those books, I remember getting tired. I'd like, I want to read this one again, and they would pull it out, and I would try to skip a word or a page, and they'd put, "No, Daddy, you missed." Like, okay, I did. But we read this one 5 times this week. Can we make it a little more fun? No, they wanted to hear that book. I don't know how many times we read Raindrop Plop or whatever it was. Like, oh my gosh! But reading is so important, and Chris's parents are reading with him. Mm-hmm. They're doing that, and they're taking that time. So, anyway, thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, no problem. Our CTE program is so awesome, and there are so many organizations, clubs, and things, and we have so many of those that have achieved things at the state level, and they're participating in at the national level this summer.
That's right.
And it's, I wasn't able to go through and find every award winner, every person.
I think we had 30-something.
Yeah. But, FFA. I mean, you look at FFA, and at all three FFA, Upperman, Cookeville,
And
Monterey.
That's right.
Man, we are blowing it out of the water
We
with national awards, state awards. I mean, recognition
That's right.
after recognition after recognition. And I don't know that I've seen another school system where collectively among the three high schools there has been this much FFA success.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
But I know ours are thriving.
Oh, unbelievable.
State officers from all
Unbelievable.
three schools.
Yeah.
Winning competitions from all three schools. They do the cattle judging, the soil judging. They've got the speech contest.
Yes.
There's so many factors of FFA. A lot of things you think
Yeah.
about: farm management, soil conservation, the ag mechanics programs. There's so much that goes into our FFA, and it's just a lot of good life skills.
Yeah.
And it's learning to work together, learning how to work as a team. 4-H starts out, as a big part of this.
That's what I was just writing now. We had 4-H speech winners this year.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
So they start early. A lot of these students will start with the 4-H and the 4-H speech and public speaking skills, which is huge, especially for a teen.
Yeah. There was a lady from Cookeville High, and it was extemporaneous speaking.
Mm-hmm.
She had 30 minutes. They gave her a topic, and then she had to speak for 10 minutes without notes on that subject.
So that's just amazing.
And she won the state competition.
Yeah, that for an adult that speaks a lot and has to speak a lot publicly, and I can ramble. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously here,
Yeah.
I
We
get
do have
excited.
notes, though.
You give me a microphone, give me a camera. I can ramble on a little bit. It does help having notes, but to not have those and to just get up and start speaking to do that is so impressive. But we have students who do that very well. And our 4-H students, our 4-H programs are thriving. We have FFA are thriving. 6 agricultural teachers across the county, 2 at each of our high schools. They all specialize they have their own areas that they specialize and they teach. But they do great work with the students. The students love being in the programs.
Yeah.
The greenhouse, the horticulture, buying the plants.
Yeah.
My wife seems to find lots of reasons to buy plants from our FFA
It's for charity.
programs.
I mean, come on, you're helping the schools.
It's helping the schools. No, it's great. The kids do tremendous things and they're great programs and going nationals. So we're expecting to see some more winners.
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch on our social media accounts because we will blow that out. Arts and entertainment, and that is something that I think the focus has really become more evident. We've seen more funding in our arts and entertainment. There was a big gift of guitars at Monterey High School. Mm-hmm. We're seeing record numbers participating in band and chorus. Several choruses received superior ratings. All county band came together, over 250 students.
Wow. Yeah.
And then, as if that's not impressive enough, then you have these theater productions at the middle school and the high school levels that are as good as anything that you'll see out there.
Blow you away.
It is amazing.
We have the best music arts our teachers in those programs are amazing.
They are amazing.
And for years, Cookeville High School, for good reason, got a lot of attention.
They did.
Michael Show, David Talbert, those guys, they all do a great job out there.
Yep.
And it's a large school with a large, very talented student population. Work well with the Children's Theater, but the chorus productions that Cookeville High School put on for years has truly been amazing.
Yeah.
Arts was just didn't have the focus in Baxter and Monterey, but as they're both growing. And our school board recognized the need to provide that outlet for students. And I'm so thankful of this. So we go back, 5-6 years ago and started putting a focus first in Baxter because they'd asked for it.
Yeah.
But we put that focus there in Baxter with getting full-time both band and music at the high school, then band and music at the middle school.
Yeah.
And you see the growth of those programs because we started in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
We've had music in elementary schools for years, but then just it was a little more of the kids. A few kids would take it in middle school and it kind of drop off and wane a little bit. But the school shared music teachers, and the board recognized the need to put full-time people at both schools.
Yeah.
Well, in doing that, boom, the programs blow up.
Yeah.
But it's not just, we got the right people there too.
Absolutely.
And it's not just that we put people there, it was the right people to be there. And they do an amazing job. So now our productions that are happening in Upperman, are right there, rivaling what we see in Cookeville, and it's something that the community can be really proud of.
Yeah.
And at graduation, Upperman High School, that group of seniors who sang the national anthem for the graduate, just blow you away.
Yeah.
We've got that kind of talent across the county.
Yes.
We want to see that in Monterey. And so last year the board, again agreeing, you see that success, and we need this in Monterey as well. So they made the commitment to hire the people in Monterey, but the principals chose the right people.
Yeah.
And those programs are already growing. And so I think very soon we'll see the marching band in Monterey like we have at Upperman, like we have at Cookeville. We'll see the chorus concerts like we have at the other schools. We'll see the plays. I think all of that's coming in Monterey.
Yeah.
But to go back to your statement about how they rival anything that we see, they absolutely do. If you go to CPAC, you go to a community theater, our high schools are putting on productions that are as good or better than what you see.
Yeah.
And our middle schools are feeding them. The middle school programs, we've got kind of some the plays that are taking place at Prescott Middle and at Allgood Middle that are outstanding. They're a lot of fun. A little bit lighter than the high school plays, should be, but they're a lot of fun, and a lot of work goes to that. But also the band and the chorus programs at all of our middle schools.
Yeah.
Our teachers are doing a phenomenal job, and the kids are learning those music skills, and they love it.
They do.
And it's just a good outlet.
But, a lot of this starts with the music teachers at our elementary schools.
And that's, we've got.
And one of the funnest things about my job is getting to go to these chorus concerts or, to a Valentine's Day chorus concert or to a Veterans Day concert or whatever, and see these music teachers and what they do with these kids from kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth grade.
It is fun.
Oh, it is a highlight.
They're singing and they're screaming, they're clapping, they're dancing and moving and all the things, and the high energy, and the teachers have high energy, and they're pouring into the kids and establishing that love for music before they get to middle school. It absolutely starts with elementary. I mean, we have a program, again, we can be proud of.
Yes.
The one that I'm still hoping to see, my daughter's still irritated that I didn't make this happen before she got out of high school. Sorry, babe, but just we worked on it. It's hard, but we have a great partnership with Tennessee Tech, and they help us with this. But I still want to see an orchestra in our schools, a strings program.
So at the pep rally, there was that string orchestra that was there.
We have some band teachers that are allowing that. Cosby played violin at Upperman.
Yes.
Mr. Oliver was great to let her do
and
that.
And that was awesome. I mean, we took some videos.
I would tell her, I was like, "There's no way he's going to let you." She also had played clarinet too. Like, there's no. She's no. I'm playing violin. I play violin.
Yeah.
And then he did
during a football game. You see him down there playing violin.
So Mr. Oliver was great to allow her to do that. But you now see there are other students in the Upperman band who are playing string instruments. I think that's fun.
Guitar.
But I would love to see. We've got some tremendous guitar players across the district. But I'd love to see a chorus or an orchestra of string instruments. And again, Tennessee Tech, the strings program at Tech, does a great job. It's a good resource for us. But I'd like to see that in our schools, and that's something we still, once we get the band and chorus there, maybe a next step for us.
And, of course, the fourth grade day where they get to go over and listen to Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, the Bryan Symphony Orchestra. They do that every year for our fourth graders. They take us for many of those students, it's the first time they've had that type of experience. We never had that. I grew up in rural, Middle Tennessee. You were a couple of counties over.
Savannah didn't have that.
Lawrenceburg didn't either. So we didn't have those things. So to have that resource here and that Tech gives so generously to allow our students, they don't charge us for them to come over. They put the concert on. We bust them over, bust them back to school. It's a great day.
Some of the biggest, most viewed videos that we have are from our chorus concerts, our band concerts, and then band camp this past summer. I went over to Upperman and Cookeville band camp and just took some video. Blew up.
Oh yeah,
absolutely blew up.
It's a lot of kids.
People want to see these kids sweating and working.
It's a lot of kids. The parents are proud of them. They should be, but a lot of hard work. Band camp is as bad as football two-a-days. I'm telling you, they're on the pavement.
They are. I was impressed, man. I was so hungry because I was getting hot out there, and I'm like, I'm going to go.
You're 90 degrees plus, 100 degrees out there, and you're standing on the pavement, and they're marching all day. and the sun beating down. Those are long, hot days in the summer for those band kids. But they're out there, they're putting the work in.
Yeah.
And then the shows that they develop and put together for football games, it's phenomenal. And so for the folks who stay at halftime and watch the halftime shows, you get a really good performance.
Yeah.
Some really talented students.
Well, that kind of moves us into sports, and what a year it has been. I'm not sure that we've had a more successful season sports-wise. It takes up almost a whole page. And let's just start with the fact that we had 4 state champions in the school district this year. 4.
That has not really settled with me yet.
Yeah. 4 state champions.
Yeah.
So it started with Cookville's Owen Hill winning the
golf.
boys state golf championship back in the fall.
I'm over here trying to break 50 on a 9-hole Wednesday afternoon.
He's out there, playing at Sevierville Golf Club, one of the toughest tracks, and wins the state
championship. Wow.
Yeah.
I need him on our scramble team.
Well, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
For the Commissioner's Cup. You think you're going to win this year, but I'm Superintendent's Cup. I'm going to bring him. I've got some ringers coming.
We're not bringing students in yet. Yeah, I'm not there.
Upperman's Grady Phelps. This is a freshman young man at Upperman, won a wrestling state championship, and then fellow freshman Jake Stinnett was a runner-up.
Huge. So the wrestling program's still fairly new at Upperman.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not new, but it's not as established. No, at Cookville, we've had state participants in the past at Cookville High School. Coach Cook, they do a great job over there.
Yeah.
It's still relatively new in Baxter.
It is.
But yet they did a great job this year, and we had 2 state champion, a state champion, a state runner-up. Amazing. So congrats. And those were fun kids too. They came to the board meeting that night.
They did.
They were a lot of fun.
They still had the hair bleached. Yeah.
Apparently, it's a thing. If you make a state tournament, you got to bleach the hair.
It is.
You and I would be in trouble.
I would
have much
just
bleach
paint
there.
some yellow on my head. Avery Trace boys basketball was a state runner-up. Prescott South girls, 5th and 6th girls. Now, this Prescott basketball team, we've seen them either the 7th and 8th grade win a state tournament or the 5th and 6th. It's kind of been flip-flopping.
It has for the girls. Again, the girls coaches there did a great job with them, and the talent is amazing. And Avery Trace Middle School boys this year, what a run they had! That was fun all the way to the end. They had a big run through the county. Pretty much, they were. I don't know. I think they were undefeated in the county.
I believe
think
so.
that's right. So a great season. But then to make that run at the state, some really talented kids.
Come up just short too. It was a great game.
I know Coach Hill's really excited to get some of those 8th graders at the high school who also had a great run last year.
Another district championship in his first year.
So he's excited to keep that streak going and that tradition. So great run.
And in Baxter, it's always known for the girls basketball, and again they had a great year. But for the first time in the history of the school, the boys basketball team brought the gold ball back to Baxter. They won the state championship, and Upperman's Ty Cobb was named the Mr. Basketball for Class 3A.
If you haven't had a chance to watch Ty play, and you're a basketball fan,
once a generation player,
you're missing out. He is truly special and a great kid too. And his mom and dad, just good people, and they were also great athletes and great basketball players, but Ty is truly special. If you hadn't had a chance to watch him, you should. Just a good kid and fun to watch. But that Upperman boys team, and they were young, only had a couple of seniors, so we're hopeful to see them make another run this year.
Yeah.
We laugh. For years the girls have been there. You mentioned that. The court there in basketball is the Dana McWilliams court.
Yes.
Coaches McWilliams, Dana, and Bobby have been there they just retired this year from teaching.
Yeah.
They're going to continue to coach, but 30 years as teachers. So Dana's got her name on the court. Told Bobby, you're going to have to win some championships to get your name on the court.
Put us on the goal or put it on.
I don't know. But then he won one, so I don't know. Maybe maybe he's building a thing here. So
well, you could tell how special it was, and it was special for her too because it's been a family tradition.
It has a family, and the boys, their boys helped them coach. Their assistant coaches who played for Bobby. One of the most fun things at Baxter too. All of the little kids that are out there who's
with their jerseys on.
Their parents played for Upperman, and they've got the older siblings who are playing at Upperman. The little Cobb, all the kids that are out there, the smaller McWilliams kids, and so between quarters or halftime, they're out there and they're ball boys, but they're shooting and they're making. And these are 3rd, 4th graders, and they're already shooting free throws.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now I hear the sixth grade girls that team coming up is going to be the one.
Sixth grade girls at Upperman.
It's going to be the team, and
That's
then Upperman boys for the next 2 years. They got a chance to three-peat.
That's right.
They got a chance to three-peat.
In Upperman and Cookeville both, we've got basketball, we've got baseball, we've got football that's truly excelling at all of them. Monterey, the football team's doing well. The baseball team historically does well. You still you're kind of picking up some steam in some of the other sports there in Monterey, but across the district, it's truly remarkable. I think for the first time this year, all three of our high schools had football teams that were in postseason play.
They were,
which is huge,
and
great
I'll just
coaches
tell you,
and teams.
I was talking about this with somebody just a few minutes ago. For Cookeville to win 8 games and then be a third seed in a region, that's almost unheard of.
It is.
Because if you win 8 games, you figure you're going to win the region or at least be one of the top 2 teams.
That region's so tough.
It's so tough. You win 8 games and you're the third seed.
That region is so tough. And those schools, and when you get to that point, some of the schools, they're putting college teams on the field.
They are.
So just different. The athletes are bigger. They're just bigger. They're faster. They're stronger. It's different. A different level of play than what we see around here.
Yeah.
The speed of the game is so much faster when you get to that level. But Cookeville's competing.
Yeah.
And they're right there.
They are.
And I think we're going to continue to see that upward trajectory. And it's fun. And they're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
I love that our coaches.
They're working hard.
Our coaches work hard, but they do it the right way. They care. They're hard on the kids in the right way, but they care about them. They love on them. The kids know that. They work hard. They want to work hard for them. They're leaders in the school. Their character carries a lot. When they put that team shirt on, that team jacket on, and they're in the halls, the coaches expect them to be leaders, to model behavior, respect for others, all of those things, and it's important that they do that, and that's great to see.
We talked about the state champions and the state runner-ups, but just listen to the district and region and state qualifiers. Let me just read through here. Upperman football won the region. Cookeville Monterey made it to the playoffs in football. Cookeville boys golf team won the district region championship, advanced to state. Monterey High boys golf team won the district and the region and advanced to state.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was great.
Upperman's Miley Kate Herron qualified for girls state golf tournament. Cookeville Lady Cavs won the volleyball district tournament.
That's right.
Upperman football coach Adam Kane was named the AF Bridges Coach of the Year. Cookeville cross country teams went to the state championship. Upperman girls bowling team won the district. Upperman boys bowling team went to the state tournament.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. They had the districts and the regions right here in Cookeville.
Yeah,
it was great to go watch them. Yeah. Several students, and this is the one sport I think is growing quicker than anything, is archery. And we had so many students qualify for the nationals in archery across the district.
I've not been to the archery match. I saw some of your pictures, and that's got to be a little fun. You got 100 kids lined up, and everybody got a bow and arrow.
Exactly.
I don't know how safe this is. But
and it's different distances because when they start backing up, man, it's like
that seems like a lot of fun, and it is growing.
It is growing. It's huge.
Yeah.
Cookeville girls basketball again won the region championship, advanced to the Final Four of the state tournament for the third time in 4 years.
Yeah, tremendous success, and just building that program. Coach Gillis, they do a great job there. Wow.
Matt Hill, we said in his first year, won the district. Cookeville boys soccer won the district, won the region, the sectional, and advanced to the state semifinals.
That's right.
They were just a win away from going to the championship.
May was kind of a blur, but we had a couple of big teams in May.
Cookeville boys tennis.
Yes.
Won the district, region, sectional, and went to the state semifinals.
That's right.
Again, they were just one match away from going to the championship.
The Cookeville tennis teams.
Yeah.
Again.
Brian Rohr.
Year in, year out, powerhouses, well respected across the state. They do a great job. Yeah.
The girls tennis team also won the district region, and this probably flew under the radar more than anything else. But it was the Cookeville girls lacrosse team made it to the state championship and was the state runner-up.
I think sometimes that gets crowded because you've got the bigger sports when you look maybe with baseball or tennis or whatever. I'm not sure how that one stayed under. But so much is happening in May, coming up to graduations. But this is, 2 years in a row, the Cookeville girls lacrosse has been state tournament, and now state runner-up. And that's a fairly young program, too.
Yeah, and I think they played Brentwood. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but
that's a legendary program.
I don't know much about lacrosse, I'll just tell you. but it's fun to watch.
I see them out there practicing a lot.
Yeah, it is fun to watch, and,
Yeah.
and they do a great job. And the Cookeville girls lacrosse, fun stuff.
Of course, Addison Bray was all-state. She was
I think
one
going
of
to
those.
Austin P,
Yeah.
signing a scholarship to go to Austin P for lacrosse. I mean, huge, tremendous, and another impressive young lady, one of our TSBA
award winners,
delegate for the Upper Cumberland region. So another great kid, good, huge accomplishment there.
Upperman baseball, again, the tradition continues. They won the district. Now, they finished second in the region, but then they go on the road. They won the sectional, and they advanced to the state tournament again. So another great run by the
for
Bees.
Upperman baseball. Yeah, they just keep rebuilding. The tradition continues. That's a good way to put it at Upperman for baseball.
And in track, Cookeville High and Upperman both.
Oh, that's right.
Several state tournament, and a couple of them brought some medals.
The spring gets busy.
The spring gets busy.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, because there's so much happening.
Yeah.
And when we talk about spring, I mean, it is the time for celebrations.
That's right.
You know, we had the Teacher of the Year luncheon, which is always great.
That's right.
You have the Novice Teachers of the Year. First time we recognize novice teachers.
Teachers within the first 3 years of their career who are already making an impact, who are recognized by their peers that they're making an impact. Students respect them, want to be in their class. They enjoy them, but they're up and they're teaching and they're doing the right things.
Yeah.
And, a wonderful recognition for a young teacher.
The CTE certificates, I always enjoy that CTE banquet.
It's a great banquet. Our community partners coming together, supporting our CTE students who are standing out in whatever class and field that they're in.
And you hear their advisor talk about them.
Yeah. That's really cool. I mean, those classes are smaller. And especially when you get into the ones who are winning these awards, the teacher students, they really get to know each other, and they it's a special relationship, kind of like a coach and a player. So the advisors are really proud of them, and these are students who are going to move on and do good things.
Yeah. Of course, one of the favorite things around here is our system-wide picnic. That's on one of those.
It's fun. Yeah. That's a good day.
On the 10 a.m. day.
It's the teacher work day.
Teacher work day, yeah.
Teacher work day. We bring all of the faculty and staff, all 1,800, are invited to come to Cookeville High School for a picnic, cookout type thing. We actually have to get it catered in. We've got a lot of people, but it's wonderful to bring everybody together.
Yeah.
We partner with U-Trust to be able to do this kind of stuff. It's a workers' comp group that we have, and they give grants back to us with monies that we don't spend. It's kind of like an insurance program,
right?
But you'd get the premiums back, I guess, for lack of a way to explain that. But anyway, we use the U-Trust money to put this picnic on, and we buy lots of big prizes. There's a lot of fun things, like the restaurants around town, fun stores, gift certificates. iPads, Apple Watches, in years past we've had. This year too, pontoon rentals, things like that. It's a big day. We give a lot of prizes. I think we give 100-something prizes to teachers that day. It's a fun day.
And then everything culminates with graduation.
Graduations.
5 graduations.
6 if you count
independent program. We had 6 graduations in 7 days.
It was a busy week.
Yeah.
But our graduation ceremonies, to see the seniors come across the stage, the ones you get to know, the pride on their faces, the big smiles, their parents who were so excited.
Hooping and hollering.
It's just a fun day. You can see the smiles on the teachers' faces and everybody. They're there. They're ready to make that next step in life. Whatever that's going to be for them. But they've made it to a big milestone. They're excited. They're happy, and now they're ready for what's next. Come, watch out, world.
And that's, as an educator, as anybody in the school system, that is one of the favorite things that we get to participate in. And yes, I mean, you're talking about 6 graduations in a week's time, but they're all special. They're all great, and they all tug on the heartstrings. And man, you feel a sense of pride whenever you see those things. For every school, for every graduation, there is a sense of pride that just oozes forward.
There absolutely is at all 3 schools. The pride of the school, the pride from the teachers, from the students, from everybody. And again, our band and course programs and the stuff that they put on, you can tell it's kind of a special occasion.
The Upper Cumberland Adult High School, the one that was at the church there in the mall.
Yes, church, city
Yeah.
church. Yeah.
Yeah, that's special. You know,
is.
and then the Vital and
Well, the
adult high
students,
school.
the adult ed, they didn't take a traditional path.
Yeah,
These are folks who didn't finish high school for whatever reason. When they were there, life hit them. Life comes at them.
yeah,
But they had the desire and commitment to go back and get their GED or a high set later in life. And we had an 83-year-old graduate.
that was awesome.
Which
That was so
amazing.
awesome. Yes,
Standing ovation that night.
Yes.
And he absolutely should have.
yeah,
But we recognized 60-something graduates at Adult Ed that night. I think
Yeah.
there was actually a little over 80-something that had achieved the diploma. Such a special night to recognize the graduates and the work and the time they put in, even if
Yeah.
it was a non-traditional path.
yeah.
It was
Doesn't
a
matter.
great ceremony.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, if I had to ask you what your favorite thing was about the school year, and I'm going to go ahead and let's just go ahead and take this one out because I know as a dad, I know as the supervisor.
So you're not going to let me use that.
Not going to let you use that. You giving your daughter her diploma at graduation.
That's
Cosby.
special. It is.
It was special.
It's something that I know as an educator, the high school teachers have that opportunity, and some of us here, it's not something I take for granted that I have that opportunity. But I did love that, and I appreciate that the board and just having the chance to. I signed all the diplomas, but to be able to hand her hers and present it, that was really special. Favorite thing? That's a really hard one because we have so many good things
We really do.
throughout the year. Man, I could go to some of the JROTC banquet is always a fun one in December.
Yeah.
That's a really special one.
Right.
The state championships, the ball games. I'm an avid sports fan.
Yeah.
That. So when we see our teams make it to the state, and if I can get to Murfreesboro to watch them or wherever
Yeah.
they're competing, those are highlights for me throughout the year. The academic achievements when I'm able to go to some of the award ceremonies
Yeah.
or the adoption ceremonies, those are always highlights for me.
Yeah.
But when we have students, probably my fun day, and it was an impromptu. We just happened to go in at Cookville High School when the six perfect 36s
Yeah, we were there for something else. Yeah.
We were there for something else, but they just happened
Oh,
to be there.
I think one of the teams going to the state tournament.
Maybe there was
it was something
we were
else
going
going.
for CT. It was something down
CT,
in
yes.
Mr. Mansell's class.
That's right. That's
we were
what it
there
was.
to go down to Mr. Mansell's class, but they just happened to be in the lobby.
Oh, it was Milwaukee Tools.
Right.
Yes.
Which was a great day. Another
Yeah.
community partner.
Yeah.
But just to spend 4 or 5 minutes talking to those students.
Yes.
That was really fun. That was a special day.
Yeah.
That might be a highlight for me this year. There's so many. It's been a great year.
To me, it's Veterans Day. I don't
Veterans
know.
Day.
I don't know that a school system does Veterans Day better. I think we had 13 or 14 programs that week recognizing
I'll
our
tell you,
veterans.
all of the programs are special. All
Yeah.
of our Veterans Day programs
Yeah.
are special.
They really are.
Cookville High School, they do that one in the evening. Just from start to finish, the way that they do that program, Colonel Philpo always.
Who's retiring, by the way.
Who's retiring. Huge loss for us. We're super excited about the gentleman going to replace him. But Colonel's earned this retirement, but he always does. He always does an amazing job.
Yes.
And that program is so special. The Upperman High School Veterans Day program
Yeah.
also. Again, all of our schools, they are.
Yeah.
But just, the respect that our students show, the veterans, the stories that you hear, the
Yeah.
keynote speakers that we have, those are special days.
And I think you touch on that. That's what gets me the most is, the students when they come into an assembly and, that may be kind of boring or this or that. Man, they are so
They're
respectful.
so respectful to Veterans Day. They really
Yes,
are.
They really are.
They understand
You
the
don't see
significance.
anybody, messing around in the stands or
Yeah.
talking or whatever. I mean, everybody's like glued into what's
Yeah,
going on.
they get the significance of why they're there.
Yeah.
It's super important. So the special days, we get a lot of them.
We do get a lot of them, and
Yeah.
that's one of the things that's awesome about what we get to do. But there's also some issues that we have to deal with. And,
Sure,
and
always.
probably one of the
It's
most
not all fun.
heartbreaking things was at the Upperman graduation where the mother of Cameron Kelly came across and got his diploma, died in a car wreck I guess it was November,
I didn't
December.
know you were going to hit me with this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know Cameron. He was to graduate with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, it seems
We lose a student.
we have. This is between our three high schools. That's something as a parent, I just can't imagine, can't talk about, don't know how those families are so strong, how they process and how they work through it. And I know there's strength in that, but that was difficult. That was one of the toughest things. It was a great day, and it was so good to see his mother come across and receive that diploma. But that was hard. So again, knowing my daughter was just right to the right of me at that point, and I don't. That's hard.
Yeah. And, there's things that we deal with, and then a lot of times the public may not even realize the stuff that goes on in schools that you deal with on a regular basis. I mean, there's credible threats. There's weapons found on campus. There's the vaping. Sometimes there's drugs. There's just these different things that happen that certainly you relish in the good things because you have to, because we're always dealing with these things.
Well, again, our schools are just kind of a microcosm of our community, and these are things that are in the community, and if they're in the community, they're going to be in our schools. And we're a reflection of the community. Fortunately, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not often. And fortunately, the threats that we deal with, they haven't been credible threats. But what I will say is that every threat that comes in, we have amazing SROs and school staff. Our school resource officers, the sheriff's department, is so supportive. They thoroughly check, investigate, vet every threat that comes in. They go out at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. They're knocking on doors. They're getting parents out of bed. Hey, your kids put this out there?
Yeah.
And if it turns out to be a rumor, a bad rumor, and often it is.
It is.
It's something that came from a TikTok.
Oh, yeah. We had that. There was like a week where there was 3 or 4 things that were just coming
It could be from a school that has the same initials, like a CHS.
Yes.
There's
or MHS.
Thousands of CHSs
Yeah.
and MHS. But a school from another state that has the same ones, but the kids will see it on social media. They start, and once we trace it back, it's not related to the school. That happens often. It might be, kids say things just like when we were in school. Kids would say, I'm going to kill you. You can't say that anymore.
You can't.
Even
can't.
out of frustration, even
Right.
out of whatever, and they don't necessarily mean it. You just can't do that. Yeah. And there are rules, there are laws, there are things that don't allow you to do that.
Right.
We do threat assessments for those students. If there's a comment that's made that seems threatening or any type threat, we have teams at every school that includes SROs, counselors, administrators who do thorough threat assessments. We bring outside help in when needed. And we have a process to deal with those things. And we inform parents when there's a threat. We send that out again through Parent Square. First priority is to keep the students safe.
Right.
If we need to lock down, we'll lock down. Most of the time we don't. Usually they can identify, get the student, get them out of the population without disrupting that. But if there's any kind of threat and the word's out there, we try to inform parents, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Parents usually want a lot more details than what we can provide.
Yes.
I understand that, but we are sometimes limited in what we can provide.
Absolutely.
But the main thing we want to say is that our students are safe.
Yeah.
We're dealing with this. We're aware. We've got the student. And if there's any type threat at all where we think there's something that could be credible here that we can't vet, that person's not going to be back in the building. Those kids aren't going to be back. We're going to deal with that. Yeah. And our SROs, law enforcement, everybody is with us on that. Yeah. The drugs, the vaping, again, out in the community, vaping is a tough thing to deal with because it's so common. You see it all over town. You see,
everywhere.
The adults, and we have high school students who are getting parents vapes, or sometimes parents are buying the vapes for them. That's always a hard one. But yeah, we see that. We have vape detectors in our schools in the bathrooms. Sometimes they work not as well as we'd like.
Sure.
But that's an issue we're fighting against. It's not this overwhelming rampant problem. It's not like every kid out there is doing this. Right. But there's a good percentage.
Yeah. It used to be smoking in the bathroom.
It used to be smoking in the bathroom. When we were in school, it was
Right.
smoking in the bathroom. It was chewing. It was dipping.
Yes.
From the part of the country we were in.
Absolutely.
It was chewing and dipping, and Now it's vaping. It's
Yeah.
not those things. It's stuff that's been around, and it's there. But we deal with it when we see it. If somebody turns it in, we deal with it. Same thing with drugs. We don't see as much, marijuana pills and things as we might have in years past. But THC vapes are trouble. It's too easy for students to get. It's too easy for them to find.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tough one.
Yeah.
And often when we find them, unfortunately, is if a student takes a hit off of one of those vapes and then they are intoxicated and they're showing symptoms, sometimes overdose, whatever it may be. So the big takeaway here is to talk to your kids, to be aware of what they're doing, where they're going, talk to them about the dangers, just like when we were in school. That hadn't changed.
Right.
And again, we're not talking like every student out here is doing this. No. You may hear, well, everybody's doing it. No, everybody's not doing it. This is not that rampant. But yeah, we do have those things. We do deal with it. And we have teachers, administrators, and staff who are good at what they do. And we try to keep it out as much as we can and keep folks informed.
And sometimes, there are outside factors, there's outside things that come into the school system, and sometimes they're not always good. But we have an outside organization that is dedicated to helping our school system and to helping our students, and that's the PEP Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
And they had an awesome PEP rally where,
Yes.
but to look at what the PEP Foundation is doing is amazing.
It really is. So for folks who don't know, the PEP Foundation is a support organization for our school system. Just like a booster club would be for a football, basketball, or baseball team, the PEP Foundation is a booster club for our school system. And they do amazing work. So I get asked all the time, well, what can I do? What can I do to help? Well, you can give to the PEP Foundation. Yeah. That's something you can do to help.
Yeah.
Last night's board meeting, you referenced that earlier. Caitlin Steakley, the CEO of the PEP Foundation, did an impact report. They're going to do this quarterly for the board. But over the last year, the PEP Foundation spent $180,000 helping our students in need.
Yep.
That's providing backpack programs. That's food on the weekends, food during long breaks. They work with Second Harvest to provide food. They paid electric bills. They paid rent. They paid hotel bills. They bought eyeglasses. They paid dental appointments for families, for students who could not otherwise do that, that were in crisis. The PEP Foundation stepped in and helped them. They have care closets in every one of our schools. Elementary schools, we go through a lot of underwear and sweatpants and shorts and things like that for students who have accidents.
Yeah.
Parents don't have to leave work, or if they don't have transportation, they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
There's a care closet. The counselor has that. We do the Stuff the Bus campaigns and things before year starts, so the PEP Foundation does that for us. We work with them. Those type items that we put in, that you buy when you go in Walmart and you bring out and put in the bus, that's what they go for.
Yeah.
So throughout the year, as students have a need, we don't have to call home. We don't have to disrupt a parent. We can take care of it here. Here's a change of clothes for you. Here you go. Hygiene products for students who can't provide hygiene products. We have a lot of need in the community and a lot of students. And they impact it, and it's they've got some numbers here.
They also give to the arts program,
$10,000
grant.
$10,000 grants to all of our art programs in the high schools, primarily the band and music programs. 850 students served in the backpack program, 116 students in the needs fund that they met, 65 children prevented from homelessness, from paying for houses, 228 with a significant need that was met. It's truly amazing work that our PEP Foundation does. They have a great board. I serve as an ex officio member on that board, so I don't have necessarily a voting spot, but I get to be there in their meetings and help kind of coordinate and work through. They work with our counseling department. PEP Foundation, pep.org. I think it's peptn.org is the website. You can give from right there. You can make it monthly. A lot of folks do that. This truly impacts our community. So thanks for bringing that up.
Well, we've covered a lot from the 24-25 school year. Already we see some things that are starting to culminate. That's going to be good things that's going to be happening for the 25-26 school year. We'll give you a few weeks to kind of digest all this, and before school starts, we'll come back on. We'll talk about new cell phone policy.
Yeah,
that,
I'm glad we didn't get into that
the
today.
new
This is
initiative
good stuff. Yeah.
that the board meeting supported
That's a
last
good
night.
thing too. I shouldn't say that. That's good too. I think that's going to be good. It's just going to take some getting used to. It's going to be some hurdles, but I think it's the right thing to do. Our board is doing, and it's going to be good for our students.
New softball field at Avery Trace.
Lots
We're
of
gonna can't
fun
wait to
stuff.
see that.
Yeah,
There's going to be a lot
that's
of stuff already coming together for
right.
next year.
That's
But
right.
man, what a great year 24-25 was, and Corby, I appreciate just everything that our teachers and faculty and staff.
We have good people.
We have good people.
I tell people all the time, we have a great team.
Yeah.
We have good people. I love our teachers, our faculty staff, the folks we have here at our office. We have a great team to work with. It's fun coming to work every day.
It is.
Even on the hard days,
Yeah.
we can still have fun. So, great year. We're looking forward to another great year next year.
All right, appreciate you. Have a great summer.
Hey,
Get some
you-
rest. Take a few days
so,
off.
So we're planning all summer.
I know.
Maybe we'll get a couple of long weekends.
Yeah.
But
All
thank
right.
you.
And thanks for watching.
Thank you.